Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to talk to you. I love everything. I was just reading down the announcement. And I was like, okay, sports, I'm in. Augmented reality, I'm in. Collectibles, I'm in. Sports gambling, sure, I'm for it. It's like everything is there. And you guys have had this like such cool ideas and setups and things. So I really am excited to talk about that.
Really, it's all sports. It's a global business that executes local. So the sport that's biggest in each territory is what we track for that territory. But, you got to start somewhere. And the obvious one becomes a global game, football. Mm-hmm. Particularly with the Euros on at the moment. There's a lot of passion around that. And we chose not to do anything with the Euros because, we're only 4 weeks in and we knew we had a busy schedule from listening to our launch party on the 4th of July at the Graffiti Mansion. And we don't want to do things that are half-baked, if you like. I'm sure you guys are the same. If you're going to do it, you do it well and you do it big. And so we've got a roadmap which takes us all the way through to Qatar 2022 in November next year. And all our activities are lined up to basically get us there.
Are you ready to go, Ricky?
I am, mate, yeah.
All right, let's do Chainlink Live. Welcome to Chainlink Live. My name is Andy Boyan from Chainlink Labs. I'm talking to Ricky from Sportemon Go, their augmented reality NFT sports platform. It's a global platform, and I'm excited about every statement I just made. I love all of those things. A little bit of a sports nerd that I hide in the crypto world sometimes, but not today. So I'm excited about that. Ricky, lead us off. What is Sportemon Go? How are you guys unique? Like everywhere you're unique, but like what are sort of your specialities? How do you stand apart?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I think we are unique in many, many ways. But the first thing is we're a real business with real people, fully doxed, clearly on screen here. And we've got, I've got 30 years business experience, and we've been together with my son 5 years to bring this to market. So it's not something that launched 4 weeks ago out of someone's basement and they're masked and you don't know whether you're going to be rug pulled or not. So I think that's the number one thing. And then the second thing is, as you said, it's quite an exciting, sexy business in that it goes across all facets of sport. So we've got sports media, we've got AR, we've got NFTs, we've got eSports, we've got fantasy sport, virtual sport, sports betting, and casinos, all in one end-to-end encompassing sports stadium, we call it. Mm-hmm. And the SGO token is the one that powers that. So it's, if you like, it's superstars and legends powered by SGO, verified by Chainlink, and that's just about as good as you can call it.
Yeah, there's a question in the chat about what attracted Chainlink to Sportemon Go. Chainlink is here to provide infrastructure for projects that need verifiable randomness in this case, or price feeds, or whatever oracles it is. And so, Sportemon Go needs to be fair. It needs to have randomness that's fair. Chainlink it's perfect use case for it. And so being able to combine those two things and have Sportemon integrate the Chainlink VRF is fantastic. So this whole thing doesn't have to be about Chainlink VRF. I don't want to make it a pure pitch. I really want to hear actually a little bit more about the product suite. You guys are starting with NFTs. Is that right? Yeah,
that's right. Look, we've got such a broad spectrum, and the way it works is that the platform is like if you like, the entrance to a stadium, and then there's different modules for each of those things that I mentioned. So little fun things like skins and filters and stickers are our pathway games, and many things like that. So little things you can play around with and get some enjoyment out of. And then you've got the NFTs with the superstars on them, and also legends, and also some creative people that are having a bit of fun with the SGO logo and cartoons and various other things. Our community is quite creative in that way. And a full marketplace, buy, sell, trade. Mm-hmm. And I've been, amazed at where that's going, because there's already people starting to build merchandise shops. and some athletes wanting to have their own store in there with their own fully branded products of their sponsors. So the marketplace is going to be a little bit bigger than we anticipated. It's more like an Alibaba at the rate it's going. And then we're going to add on modules as we go. And most likely sports betting will be pretty close to the front of that. And if it's not that one, it'll be fantasy sports. We're just playing around with that at the moment. We have an agreement with my partner in the US, Stephen Crystal, who's a Nevada gaming legend, and he's had casinos on the Strip, and it's got probably 8 of the 10 top betting partners, and Betfred and FanDuel and all those major players as clients, as well as eSports and virtual sports. So we've got a lot to look at and a lot to bring to the table, and we plan on getting the basis sorted in the next quarter, this quarter, sorry, and then adding, pretty much one thing every other week till the end of the year until we've got this all-encompassing playground.
Cool, man. I have one question about that NFT. There's something on your website. Jen asks, can you explain the NFT gadgets? Are those like the custom things you were talking about, or what does that mean? They're really cool on the website. They look like little NFTs in packages. What is that?
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of different designs that go into NFTs. So those little gadgets, the little boxes, if you like, with the 3D figures that are animated and moving, that's one style. We've got an AR studio that I'll show some things in a little while, that is producing some incredible things, which is actually real life athletes in real tournaments and or set up scenes whereby you can have their little reels of their careers going around in the back. So instead of the player spinning, the reels are going round and the player's reel. So that can be a real tournament, or it could be a setup type scenario. And then there's, right down to memorabilia pieces, signatures or statements or art, which is more traditional in the cartoon type world or creator world. So there's no limits on it. It's really what we decide to put in to the blockchain as an NFT. And there's some exciting stuff coming out, and we've got a fantastic studio that we actually did a joint venture with, and then it was so good, and I could see so many applications for it that we ended up purchasing it and bringing him into the fold, and giving our business and marketing and branding skills to his creativity and the funding, of course, to allow that to thrive. And I'll show some stuff shortly, and when we maybe take a little break and we can put some things on, and it's really incredible. So there's no limits. I like to say there's no limits on creativity, and why say an NFT is this or it's that when there's technology there. If you've got technology, you should use it. And if you've got creative people, you should push the technology to meet the creativity. And one of the things I've said about some other products that is currently out is it's a little bit boring, and they haven't pushed the technology. It's great. It's limited. It's verifiable. It's and therefore, it has value. No question about that. And if it's got sports stars on it and it's verifiable on the blockchain, then it's going to it's going to have a value. So it's not that, but, I want to be next generation. I want to be innovative. I want to use Chainlink to push us there and to be able to register it. And I want to use creative studios, the one internally, other great people that come to us with great ideas, and, be at the forefront and lead on innovation, lead on the limited collectability and loyalty collections. I've come from that world. So I think there's a great opportunity to have 4 or 5 products or 20 or 100, a bit like a trading card set, that when you've collected the whole lot, it unlocks something special. And that's where we're heading with it. I think that's why we're going to do pretty well in this space.
Now, I've got a couple of questions about technology releases, and I don't hold anybody to timeline. These are not promises here, because development timelines are a special thing if you work in tech. But some people do want to know, and I saw some other questions about the mobile app. And when I see augmented reality, the technology for augmented reality on mobile apps is now within grasp. You can get actually pretty decent AR going on. So is the app on progress for this year? Is it an NFT marketplace first and then more features later, or is it like a full-fledged app that's coming out? Can you talk a little bit about timeline?
Yeah, look, we're going to be out with an app this quarter. So, that's 8 to 10 weeks.
Awesome.
8 to 10 weeks is possible, but certainly at 12 weeks. We've got a sprint on currently, and anyone that's in tech knows what that means. And we're really pushing our guys. And so, like I said before, there's a platform, the entrance to the stadium, if you like, and that's built. So the integration is the next part, and the NFT marketplace is right up the front. And then Lotto, the random number generation. Excuse me for a sec. That was my wake up just to make sure in case I slept through. The random
different adventure.
Yeah, clearly I didn't set it for the right time, but that's okay. Better be late than never, right? But we're excited about Chainlink things. So NFTs is first up, and pretty much the second.
Bookworm has this question about the app. Is it going to be an all-in-one app, or are there multiple apps for different things, or do you know yet?
Look, at this stage, it's all in one. We won't rule out once we get further down the track to split it up. There could be reasons for that, being language, and or laws, or that football becomes too big. So I'm not going to rule anything out at this point. I like to say there's no limits and let people do what they do best. But we're starting off with one.
Bookworm, that's a good question. What's really interesting I found out is different regions have different preferences too. So a lot of Asian regions, they tend to like all-in-one apps where you can go and do banking and communications and this and that. And then Western, they like separation. So there might be a lot of variability there. And it's good to hear you guys there. Okay, I got a lot of questions here. Tippy's in the chat. Hey, Tippy, how you doing? I always like seeing you here. Hey, but before I get to more questions, Ricky, you were going to show us something. Do you want to take a break of talking here and take a look at some of your stuff?
Yeah. Why don't I just grab a couple of things.
And while he gets that, Morton, I'm going to address your Chainlink's part in all this. So one of the solutions Chainlink has is called Chainlink VRF. It provides provably fair and secure random numbers. So if you need a random number generated on chain, you can get that from Chainlink VRF. So that's the integration that SportyMongo has, is when there's randomness needed. So for example, for NFTs, if you want a rare NFT, like if you're giving away 1,000 and you want 100 of them to have a rare quality, you can use a random number generator to make sure that it's provably fair, and not everyone on the SportyMongo team or Chainlink oracles get those 100. No, instead it's provably fair, so nobody can cheat that. So that's the Chainlink VRF integration, and there's a lot of opportunities for that when it comes to sports and sports betting in the future. Having provably fair randomness is really important. But this is a great question, Morton. Thank you for setting me up for a nice Chainlink softball as well.
Yeah, does that come through?
Yeah, here, I'll pop it up right here. Cool. These are the augmented reality bets.
Yeah. So these are, clearly early in development, but they're along the lines of what we're going to do. There's another one just there. I'm not sure it's loaded yet. And so, what we're looking at doing is turning sport into, Marvel superheroes clashes with sport, and really appeal to, the generation that really is in this space, younger, tech savvy, cool. And, these boxes are actually real, believe it or not. This is real boxing taking place with an AR technology attached to it, Sport Realms, which is the studio we purchased. And this can have our own tournaments and our own betting, and can also be done as a virtual. So, there's a lot of applications for it. I'll show you another couple of things here, which is quite cool.
I'm also interested in, and we don't have to cover this yet, but in hunting for NFTs. It's like the idea of having sports, like being at a live event and then having your phone or another interface, whatever that is. Okay. Oh, this is just like in the office?
Yeah. So one of our things is having an experience we call physical and virtual, and turning stadium and sport experiences into a physical and virtual experience depending on where you are. So this is sort of like a bit of a play on that, in that you can be at a stadium and you get one experience out of it, but if you're at home, you get a different experience. And you can design your own experience based around scanning your ticket, scanning or uploading, the file such as this, or a video that you take, or you scan from a couple of key points within a stadium and lock it into an NFT and store it as your own personal memory from that day, and design your own experience if you like. And then there's others that are available only for that day, and they're limited in number and can be collected or purchased, exactly as you said. So you might walk around and there's loot boxes such as Coca-Cola cans, or Pepsi, depending on who we're doing, or Reebok or Nike. And then also, have some virtual experiences where it may be the mascot, it may be a superstar player, it may be you up on the scoreboard, a whole range of different activities. And we call that our virtual and physical experience captured in NFT. We believe we're the only ones that can design your own experiences, and I can decentralize it, which is really cool.
I'm a creative guy, and I've thought of a lot of use cases for sports and augmented reality, but I've never thought of this. This is crazy. Play this video again, because it's like a trip. Like I almost got a little bit vertigo of switching places like that. What a great idea. And bringing these studios in with this creativity is just really something special. Yeah.
So this is to show the the experience from both sides, if you like. And we've got some geniuses on our team, and Armani Meedy is one of them, from the Graffiti Mansion, and this is some of his work. And some of the stuff that he's put out for the Graffiti Mansion, and also just for examples. And that's all this is to show what the capability is, and my vision of a physical and virtual stadium that can have different experiences depending on which side of the door you're on. And part of it can be is you're at home and you're walking through the door in your lounge room to sit into your TV stereo room, your lounge, whatever it might be. And, you sit down to watch sport like you've never watched it before, and you get to save it and store it and, and share it with people. But equally, you can get different one on that same day, which is a collectible, a game day NFT. And I've done a lot of things where, you go to Yankee Stadium or the MCG in Melbourne, the cricket, and you get a game day card. When trading cards were exceptionally popular in the Michael Jordan era, you'd go to the basketball and you got a free trading card with a player on it. And sometimes everyone got that player in the stadium. Sometimes it was the team card, and sometimes it would be like the opening game, or the 4th of July game, or someone's 100th game, or 400th game, 1000th game. Yeah. And it was something that you only got when you were there, and they were numbered, they were limited, and then they'd go straight away and trade them, So I see the NFTs taking that place, and it all taking place in the virtual world. But there is the opportunity to do it physical as well. And that's quite exciting.
My dad tells stories of in the 60s, he'd go to Dodger Stadium and they'd give out little miniature baseball bats. And so they just give a whole bunch of kids in the summer tiny baseball bats at a baseball stadium in the 60s. Didn't end well then, but NFTs, a very different situation. I'm also struck by not just the user side, but the stadium side. I know live sports has struggled in the past, decade of making sure there's experiences at the stadium that are worth going to, because now the picture and sound quality at home is so good that augmenting that, if I may use it, concessions. If you take a look at concessions in stadiums, the quality has gone up dramatically because they want people to come have a good experience at the park, and they need that, right? That it builds loyalty, it sells merchandise, like it's part of a business model. So the opportunity there for augmented experiences, it seems like it benefits both sides, not just the users who want to stay at home, but also the sports teams, the clubs that are trying to stay afloat and keep their stadium open.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorites, mate. It's really early in development, and Gianni, our superstar from Sport Realm Studio, created this without a brief, or a 2-minute one, if you like. And the idea is that we turn the whole city into a playground. And so, let's say you're in LA, then it's clearly going to be the Lakers. And you turn the whole thing into the team colors, and the playground and the court is in the city, and you can have the journey to the stadium through different sponsors, and again, looking for loot boxes or special collections of maybe your team on the way to the stadium, and then the court's in the middle of a city. And I'm really excited about that. I think cities and bringing stadiums to life, where walking through the halls and you're going from today to 1950, a bit like you said with your dad, he's told you stories. I've told my son stories, mainly about me playing, mind you, but you can take someone on a journey. And one of the things I used to love when I was a kid going to the football and cricket, our two major sports, was it was in the record, printed product. Could you imagine that? A printed product. And it would say, on this day 10 years ago, on this day 20 years ago, on this day. And I can really see that coming to life on an NFT, where you can have, LeBron in one and Jordan in another. And then if you're, in the Yankees, going back to Babe Ruth, and, if you're cricket, then it can be, a Shane Warne and a Smith, and Warner of this era. So, and I'm just choosing names, guys. So please don't. Yeah. We haven't signed those, just as a reference. But clearly, there's a great application for that across all sports. And
but now we want cards for you, Ricky. Did you have a trading card when you played?
I did. Yeah. Okay.
Are we going to get those as NFTs? I think the people might want, that could be a pretty rare one that people could find.
Yeah. Well, we're about to do a vote on what's going to be SGO's first NFT. And we did a little test just to see what people would want, and that was in the mix. But we're gonna get the best 10. As I said, there's a hell of a lot of creative people.
Yeah.
And so we're asking for submissions, and then once we've narrowed that down, Corey, my son, and I will probably choose sort of 3, and then from there again we'll maybe ask for some votes, and then we'll choose what we think maybe the best one, not maybe the most votes, but certainly we'll take votes a long way down the path. And being the first one, it's going to be extremely valuable. We're actually going to give it away in some form of a lottery, which I'm sure you guys will be involved with. And, that'll be either a lottery, a donation, or, use a token to buy it. So something along that. But effectively, we're going to give someone a chance to get the Genesis SGO NFT.
Cool.
Who knows? It might be my card. It might be our logo. It might be the mansion.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, and I want to clarify. See, we don't have to be involved. VRF works, right? It's
Yeah,
automated oracles, so that's
true,
fantastic. Here's
true.
an interesting question about the business. Do you have plan regarding athletes and image rights and royalties? Like, is there a different way of thinking about that, or does NFTs kind of fit into that? This is a broader legal industry question.
Mm.
Do NFTs fit into name and likeness and image regulations as they are?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and that actually gives us the biggest competitive advantage over
Mhm.
a pure tech company. You know, yourselves included. You've got the tech to do everything, but to go and get a license of an athlete and to negotiate with an athlete and a manager and a team and a league and a sport and navigate all around that is bloody time consuming and
Mhm.
costly if you don't know your way around. And then if you don't know fan engagement and you don't know which product is going to hit what the fans want to buy and what price point you can sell it at, there's a good chance you're going to make a huge mistake. Going and paying a Ronaldo or someone $2 million for their NFT rights doesn't guarantee success. It'll guarantee people come into your platform. They may even buy your token, but they may not buy the NFT.
Mhm.
You've really got to hit what the fan wants. You've got to know what that is. And I've got 30 years experience in knowing that. My friends, I used to manage athletes. We manage athlete rights. We've done licensing for the Olympics, for FIFA, for Manchester United, for the Super Bowl, for the NBA, for Major League Baseball, for pretty much every organisation around the world, including Brazil Olympic. You spoke about South America before. And we've got a big advantage in that space. My friends are athlete managers, and we know what things cost. We know how to do the deals, and we've got a lot lined up straight away. We're not releasing those yet until the platform is either ready or near ready. Because again, that's experience. If we could actually name some now, and we'd get a push in our values. No question about that. But by the
Mhm.
time we get around to the platform, we've wasted 3 months of a license.
Mhm.
So in my mind, that's stupid. We're going to get the uplift at the right time, which is when the platform's there and when we can commercialize it. And then once you've got it athlete right, you've got to produce the right product at the right time, at the right price, through the right distribution models. And as you can see, we've got a lot of tools that we're going to play with. And I believe that we're at least 3 to 5 years ahead of everyone else because that's where we started. And in some cases, we're 30 years ahead because I've got that experience and networks that other people can't buy. They just can't buy it.
Man, it has been an absolute pleasure hearing directly from you. The community has a ton more questions, and I'm sorry, we don't have time to get all of them. So I'm going to send you to the community chats, the telegrams, Chainlink Telegram, and Discord for your other questions. Tippy, I know you always have good questions. Sorry I didn't get to yours this time. And there's questions about adding Indian cricket and other localized. So plenty more to come from earlier on in the Q&A. If you came in late, go back and watch some. Ricky kind of outlined we're going to do as much localization as we can. And people also want to know about the casino and the betting type things. But I'm not going to keep Ricky too much longer because it is now 3:30 in the morning his time. I'll give you a little bit of break. Where's the best place to go and get more information about Sportemon Go?
Look, the best place to start is at our website. I think, that's a very good place to start. It's very easy to read. And then the second best place would be the Telegram announcement section or our Twitter. Our Twitter's updated with a lot of almost minute by minute news because unlike a lot of businesses in this space, we have news every minute that's real and is interesting and sexy, for want of a better word, because it is based around sports and betting and different partnerships. Just in the 4 weeks, we've got partnerships with Chainlink, Nerve Network, SCCG across sports betting, casino, eSports, virtual sports. We've had the Graffiti Mansion with a lot of stars and influencers. And so if people want to have a look, the Twitter's a good place to find that. And Telegram, you can listen to a lot of my AMAs and other people, like my son and some of our other key people that have been listening along the journey and can give a different perspective than what I have. But if you want to know more, we're very engaged with the community. We do AMAs, daily. And that's probably a pretty good place to start, is at the website, have a look at Twitter, and then go and have a look at some previous AMAs.
Man, I cannot thank you enough for coming on. I mean, the topic itself is exciting. Your project is exciting. I'm super happy. Of course, you're using Chainlink. That gives me the wonderful excuse to dig in deeper and meet your community too. What a great and active group of people. Appreciate you guys coming. I didn't even get to get into the graffiti mansion, which I love. I was just, researching you for this. And of course, all the graffiti mansion stuff comes up. So let's do a follow-up. How about that? You invite me out to the next cool event, or we can meet on virtually as well in a couple months once the app is live, or whatever else it happens to be. I'm happy to do a follow-up because your community is definitely interested. And I'd love to talk again.
No, look, thanks, Andy, and really appreciate it. And look, we've got a great community. They really get behind myself and Corey and the business. It gets called a project at times, and I suppose being in this space it is, but it's 5 years in the making. It's a business. Yes, we've got a combination of a lot of hardworking community people. It's about 500 currently, which is incredible in 4 weeks. But it's in a business structure, and it's, proceeding to being a fully fledged business. We're in 21 countries already as a branded organization, and that's getting ready for the World Cup, like you said.
Yep.
And, mate, so I'd love to do a follow-up, or you can come onto one of our AMAs as well. And,
we'll figure it out. We'll get together. Yeah. This won't end. We'll get together and hang out.
Yeah. And look, we're really excited about Chainlink, mate. Really excited because, the being verified in lotto and prizes and competition and collectibles is just really important, and it's part of our tokenized model. And companies as big as FanDuel and Coca-Cola and Pepsi have run into problems with their competitions, not being verified or having insider prizes and things. So it's really important for us to have secure backend, the privacy, and the verifiable data. So look, we're really happy with the partnership.
Awesome. Couldn't be happier myself as well. So to the community, I'm going to have links down there to all of the Sportemon Go properties. Join communities, follow them on Twitter, go to their website, join the Chainlink communities as well, Discord, Telegram, etc. Everything you can. And do me a favor, like and subscribe this YouTube channel. I do these Q&As with amazing founders and projects every week. I've got 3 more next week, I think later on in the week, Wednesday and Thursday, maybe Friday. So come back and hang out with me and Mark and all the cool people who come here regularly. Ricky, thanks again for being here. I appreciate it.
Thanks, champ. Much appreciated.
We'll see everybody next time on Chainlink Live.